Good evening. Hello everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome. How are we doing? USA, Australia tonight. I've just had major issues getting the game up on the iPlayer because it thought I wasn't in the UK. Which is odd. I wasn't using a VPN, so I don't know what that was about. Well, I've had to switch over to Microsoft Edge, which I didn't even know I still had installed, to be honest. But there we go. There we are. How are we doing? How do we enjoy last night's matches? Canada, USA was... Canada, Qatar was interesting, wasn't it? Nice 6-0 win for Canada. Very entertaining. A lot happened in that match. 2 red cards. Obviously a broken leg, which wasn't nice to see for Kone. That was a shame. Big shame for Kone that. I don't think it was a red though. It wasn't a red, was it? If he didn't have that injury, he was never getting sent off for that tackle. So I did feel for him a bit with that. Did feel for him. Mexico, South Korea was awful. Yeah, I didn't end up staying up for it, to be honest. Just as it got close, I actually stayed up until right before kickoff. And then just at the last moment, I was like, I don't want this. I want to go to bed. So I'm glad when I saw the score and I watched some of the highlights the next day, I thought, thank God I didn't stay up for this. Because that wouldn't have been worth it. Well, I do feel bad because I haven't watched South Korea live in either match. So that's a shame. But I'll make sure to right that wrong on the final match day. And obviously Scotland tonight after this. Scotland-Morocco. Scotland-Morocco, massive game for the Scots. We will see what they can deliver, whether they can give a little shock to Morocco. I don't think they'll be able to, though. I don't think they'll be able to. Good choice? Yeah, I think it was a good choice. I think so. Yeah, other than that, all good. The Canada game was so worth it, though, so... I nailed that. I had that same consideration when it came to the Argentina game the other day. Am I going to stay up? Am I going to go to bed? And I decided to stay up because it was messy. And it was so worth it. So, those have been the 2 decisions I've had to make on games so far. And I think both times I've managed to get it right. Which is good. And I need to decide again tonight whether I'm going to stay up for Brazil or not. Probably leaning a little bit towards not staying up at the minute just because it's Haiti. If it had been Scotland, then I think I'd have stayed up, but because it's Haiti, I think I'm leaning more into the side of going to bed, although in games like that there's been a lot of goals generally so far, so a little bit worried about that. I definitely won't see Turkey-Paraguay, I'll say that much. Definitely will not be seeing that game in. But yeah, we also have the United States versus Australia tonight. Should be a really good game, this. A really good game. Both teams were exciting on match day 1. The USA obviously blitzed Paraguay, much to my disappointment. Got a 4-1 victory. Super good for the USA. And then Australia beat Turkey, and I think that was a big surprise to a lot of people. A lot of people have Turkey as a potential surprise package. And they can still be that. They may beat Paraguay tonight. And then they're probably on their way to going through. So we'll see. Particularly if the USA win tonight. They'll probably have a little bit of a rotate in the final match in that case. But we'll see. All good. All good. No Pulisic tonight in the United States starting lineup. No... Iran Kunda for Australia in the starting 11 either. We're all rooting for Australia, right? I'm rooting for a good game, I think, more than anything. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm happy either way, you know? I am happy regardless. I just want football to be the winner, you know? So I've got stuff playing in my earphones there, but we'll see. It should be a good game. So I don't think I have too much to worry about. Switzerland-Bosnia last night was obviously horrific for 75 minutes and then remarkable for the final 15 plus injury time. Can't quite remember a match quite like that, to be honest. Can't really remember that. A game quite like that. It was good. It was good in the end. And then Canada-Qatar, I think the general consensus here in chat was that Canada were going to win. And they were superb, weren't they? Even before the red cards, they were utterly dominant. You know, it was a pulsating watch at times. They came forward with such energy. The fact they've still got Alphonso Davies to come back into this lineup, if he can get himself fit, is really positive news for them. Really positive. And yeah, they obviously need to go into their final match and get something. They've got Switzerland, but they should be hopeful in that because Switzerland have shown very little so far, barring that almost ridiculous last 20 minutes we had last night. So yeah, there's certainly going to be some hope for them. Not sure how Qatar even qualified. Well, they got a bit fortuitous, didn't they, with the qualifying, because they went into the playoff system in Asia and they were very dubiously awarded hosting rights for their 3 teams sort of mini league. So, and they got a win and a draw to qualify. So, but they were reasonably competitive, to be fair to them, against Switzerland. They stayed in that match for a long time, kept themselves in it, which is so important if you're not a strong nation. It's just to try and stay in the match and hope you can nick something, and that's exactly what they did. So, but and they can still qualify. They have Bosnia in the final match, and you know, how good have Bosnia been? Have Bosnia been that much better than Qatar? I don't think so. It's obviously going to be harder with them now, having lost 2 of their starters. But yeah, we'll see. Bosnia need to show something as well. It's an incredibly warm night here in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be wiping sweat away, I'm afraid, for quite a bit of it. And unfortunately, the fan beside me will not be getting a run out because I think that may be a little bit too loud. But that's fine. That's fine by me. I can live with that. I can live with that. As we close in on around a quarter of an hour to kick off. And how bad must Italy have been? Yeah. Didn't qualify on merit, really. Wasn't due to luck. It was due to merit. They were as good as Bosnia, but not better in terms of the match to make it go to penalties. Italy's a crazy story, isn't it, really? Not qualified for the last 3 World Cups. Grouped in 2014, grouped in 2010, and then winners in the tournament before. And in that time, they've made it to 2 European finals, and they've won 1 against England, of course. But yeah, kind of mad, isn't it? Really, kind of crazy, to be honest. But yeah, Shane Pulisic is missing. I'm expecting the US to probably still have too much for Australia. Balogun looks sharp, like incredibly sharp. I like Ricardo Pepi a lot. I think he's a good fun player. I don't know if he's still on his way to a Premier League move. I know there was a lot of talks around him going to Fulham at one stage. I don't know if that's changed now because of Marco Silva's departure. But he's a good, exciting player. And the 3 in sort of midfield, Adams, Tillman and McKennie, is a lot of energy about those 3. And Robinson and Dest like to push up on the sides. But Australia were one of the surprise packages of the first round, so they can definitely cause problems. I certainly didn't have them down as beating Turkey. So we'll see. We shall see tonight then. Fantastic. Fantastic. We've also had some news this evening regarding the 2030 World Cup. Spain and Morocco are supposedly in dispute about which host nation should be hosting the final. Spain want it to obviously be at the Bernabeu. Morocco want it to be in Casablanca at that incredible Hassan Stadium. I personally am probably leaning towards Spain should be the one hosting the final, to be honest. I don't know how they differ in terms of population. In terms of capacity on the stadiums, but there we go. Big game inbound. There we go, there we go, there we go. Right. Looking good. I've once again had a few more technical difficulties this evening, so hopefully we're through the worst of them. And hopefully the call-in on the PC can ensure that nothing goes wrong. As we near ever closer to kick-off. Brazil need to bring something tonight as well. Brazil need to bring something. Fingers crossed they can. So that stadium in Morocco is meant to have 150,000 capacity when it opens in 2029. Yeah, it looks unbelievable. It looks unbelievable, that stadium. In terms of design. We shall see. But either way, I still think Madrid is probably the best destination. We shall see. I think having a host nation in each of the semi-finals and the third place playoff is probably the best way to go. Spain is just the bigger footballing country, in my opinion. Again, it could go either way, really, couldn't it? Morocco certainly seems to be in sort of favour with a lot of the governing bodies at the minute, so they probably hold some sway in terms of making that happen. There we go. Not aware yet on how severe Pulisic's injury is going to be. As to how long he's going to be out for. Injuries have obviously plagued him a lot throughout his career, really. Probably better set up infrastructure-wise too. Yeah, I think that's what it is, really. You would imagine so, that Spain would be set up better. And considering the debacle of the AFCON final in Morocco, of course, with, you know, some of the crowd behaviour and things like that, I think the logical choice is probably to go with Spain, but we're still fair away, aren't we? We're 4 years away. I'm hopeful they'll make the right decision when the time comes. But we'll see with that. We shall see. Fantastic. I find it very strange looking back that Balogun never really got his chance with Arsenal, but Nketiah did. I think their level is reasonably similar, to be fair. I'm sure if Eddie played in France and played for the United States national team, he would score a few goals too, but I think Balogun probably just edges it in terms of raw talent. And it's surprising that he never really got a look in at Arsenal. West Nketiah was sort of back up forward for a couple of seasons, wasn't he? Young Eddie. And Balogun made the right choice picking the United States. He can be revered there for years. He's again going to be a massive threat tonight on that Australian back line. Particularly on the likes of, obviously, Suter has spent a lot of time out injured. Basically, he was out for almost 18 months. And his mobility's never been his strongest attribute anyway, having watched a fair amount of him in the EFL. Yeah, we're going to see. Toure wasn't particularly over-impressive in the opening match either, so let's see what he can bring as the players are entering the pitch now. We're live in Seattle, also live from the United Kingdom, right here on YouTube. Please like the stream if you are enjoying. It's completely free. I'd love you to do so. Do I think it'll be a US win? I do think it's going to be a US win. I think it's going to be 3-1 to the United States tonight. I'm expecting a similar type of energy that Canada brought last night. But we'll see. I think Australia are certainly a more talented side than Qatar are, so they can cause more problems. Particularly down that left-hand side. I do like the left wing back for the Aussies quite a bit. And similar formations for both sides. It's going to be a man-for-man game, so there we go. Trying to watch it on the iPlayer and it keeps buffering. I had an issue just now with the iPlayer where it thought I was in another country, which is odd. As if I was using a VPN, but I'm not using a VPN. So I ended up having to load it on Microsoft Edge instead of Chrome. I don't know if that's a similar issue that you're having, if it's Chrome as well. Yeah, I had to switch over to Microsoft Edge, which I didn't even know I had installed still, to be honest. USA. I believe that we will win. Do we think there's going to be any sort of ramifications to the United States hosting this time around? Do you think football, soccer is going to take off more? It was obviously quite impactful when they hosted it in 1994 in terms of the, part of that bid was the creation of Major League Soccer, and that brought a fair amount of fans. Do we think there's going to be that type of impact again this time around? I'm thinking probably less impact, but hopefully some impact. Forget it, I'll just listen to you instead. Yeah, I appreciate that. I will do my best to talk about what is happening on my screen. I will do my very best, my friend. Right now, you're missing out on the Australian anthem, so that's not too bad. Not too bad. We'll see if we see the likes of Connor Metcalf and Iran Kunda tonight, once again. I imagine we will. I feel like maybe Australia have gone a little bit more energy to try and match the United States today. Less of the X factor, of the technique, of the flair. Yes, it'll take off the youngsters and move away from baseball and going to the faster paced sports. Be good. I think it's a global good for the United States to be invested in football and soccer. I do think they need promotion relegation in the MLS. I think they need a pyramid. That's something I'd like to see brought about, but that is up to the governing bodies over there to choose that. Very loud United States anthem, as you could probably imagine. Spangled Banner. Giovanni Reina, of course, on the bench as well. I imagine we're going to see him later on in the game. Here's a potential as well that the US are going to line up in a 4-2-3-1. Again, that's not the way it's been positioned on their official team sheet. They do have it down as a 3-4-2-1. But there is a chance that Dest is going to play further forward as a right winger, Pepe as a left winger, and Robinson slipping back into that back four. And Freeman sliding across to be a sort of defensive right back. Problem is there's no money in soccer compared to the other major US sports. Yeah, not as much yet. Again, I think a lot of that comes down to ownership, structure of investing in a US team, of there being franchises. Finally, I finished shoving a Chinese down my gob. I had a Chinese as well. I didn't think it was very good, the Chinese I had though. Didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. I also think a little bit overheating, and that took away some of my appetite. So I wasn't actually that hungry when I ate it, which is a shame. Helicopters, really. Of course, land of the free, innit? Everything's bigger and better in America. More than just a game, it's our DNA. That song's grown on me, I have to say. That's grown on me, that song, hearing it before each match. What do you think of Mexico? Should England be concerned if they meet in the round of 16 in Mexico? No, England shouldn't be concerned. I don't really see Mexico causing much in the way of problems for England. I think there was a lot of talk before the tournament about Mexico being a tough place to go because it would be a really feisty atmosphere, but we haven't seen that yet. In both Mexico matches, from what I've seen, it looks like a party, really. It doesn't seem like a threatening atmosphere to go and be a part of. Maybe that changes in the knockouts, but no, I don't think England should fear playing Mexico at all, to be honest. Because on a man-for-man basis, they have the beating of them, in my opinion. And again, I've not been particularly hot on England at any point so far, so there we are. What did I have? Chicken chow mein, sweet and sour chicken balls, salt and pepper chips. Yeah, just that, I think. Australia's lineup is the youngest average age of a starting 11 we've seen so far. I definitely didn't just steal that fact that I just got in my ears. I did the quick maths in my head because I definitely know how old Patrick Beach is and how old Matthew Leckie is, for example. I think there seems to be quite a clear conceited effort from Tony Popovich, the Australian coach, to try and match the energy they're expecting the USA to bring. So we will see how that goes. We will see what Tim Ream can deliver in the way of experience in that back line. Funky stadium. Yeah, the Seattle one's really funky because of those behind the goal sort of weird points. Here we go then. Kickoff is upon us. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me for it. And I will just sort the time very quickly. Let me bring it up on my screen. Interact. We will bring it to 18. We will update the time. And begin. There we go. Locked and loaded. Let me now clear the rest of that off the screen, just like so. There we go. Can you cook any good? Yeah, I'd say so. I would say so. I'd quite like cooking when I get the chance. In fact, I might even have... Let's see if I've got a photo. I've made some good meals this week. If I can find something. I don't know how well that will show. Oh, look at that. Nice bit of Mexican loaded chicken. With some tortilla chips around the side. A little bit of presentation. Nice little pasta bake there. Again, that doesn't really show very well, does it? But yeah, I do like cooking. Good evening, Bulgarian Guna. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining along. Regarding the 2030 final, Morocco don't deserve to host after setting back African football's credibility about 3 decades in the AFCON final. Yeah, I spoke about that a moment ago. Probably just before you joined. You might have been listening. But yeah, I think that does add a certain weight to giving the 2030 final to Spain, and in particular the Bernabeu to be the stadium. Australia sitting in deep from the outset here. Does look like the USA are in a 3. I'm seeing Tim Ream line up in the centre, so I believe we're right in thinking it's a 3-4-3 for the US. And for Australia, it's a 3 as well, but definitely more of a 5 out of possession. Again, I think very, very clear the US are going to be controlling the tempo. Australia are going to look to spring in transition. See what they can do on the counter. But yeah, let's see. Any score predictions from anyone in chat? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? I've personally said 3-1 United States myself. And crucially, are we going to see a better match than the first 75 minutes last night? Let's see. USA down the left, getting an early corner. Robinson. Oh, he didn't get a corner. He actually double ricocheted. It's a goal kick. It's a goal kick. 1-1. Fair. Fair. Australia have certainly shown their pedigree in their opening match. Pulisic being shown on the screen. He's obviously not available tonight. Apology for the chair noise. So reposition. He's always going to be in Madrid for the final regardless. Infantino has a close relationship with Perez. Well, Morocco also kind of flavour of the month when it comes to the governing bodies. Little chance there for a USA break. But it was thwarted. So we'll see on that one. We'll see. Again, personally, sort of at this moment, unless anyone can give me a reason against, that I think it should be hosted in Spain. Someone anonymous in chat made the point that Spain has the better infrastructure. And you'd certainly imagine that'll still be the case in 2030 in order to be able to host a final of that scale. And I think that's fine. We also haven't had a European final for a very long time, really. Moscow in 2018 would have been the last one. And even then, sort of geographically, half in Asia. So the last one we had in sort of Western Europe would have been Germany back in 2006. So if we're going by that, Africa has kind of had a final earlier than that. Albeit it was in South Africa and that couldn't really be any further away from Morocco. Africa obviously far, far, far bigger than Europe. Ball into the box. Pepe going in for the header. Australia just about dealing with it. Dropping to Robinson. It's been called as a foul anyway. It would have gone wide. Don't see that Cartuya in Seville as host. Awful stadium in my opinion. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I've just got that that sculpture in my head from Seville. Do you think Germany could beat France in the round of 16 if they both topped their groups? Good question. Yes. Yeah, I do think they could. I don't think they will. This is not the best Germany side we've ever seen. I think France can cause more problems to Germany than vice versa. But Germany are competitive. We'll certainly know more tomorrow once they've played Cote d'Ivoire as to their level. We've not learned a lot. Ooh, Matt Freeze with a mistake has given Australia a bit of a chance. But Dest has won it back well. But the US can't spring a counter. But yeah, no issue so far for Germany. So we shall see what problems they can cause. We haven't really seen a good Germany for a long time now. A long time now we've not seen a great Germany side. We're going on over a decade, really. If it finishes 0-0 as Vice dictate the channel, I'll have to take drastic action of a coup because it will be clear you're cursing every match you stream. Oh, we had a great last 20 minutes. A great last 20 minutes. I told you Qatar were... Yes, you did. You did. Although, again, I'm going to defend myself a little bit. First of all, last night, we did all agree in the stream that Canada were going to beat Qatar. I definitely underestimated Canada more than I feel like I overestimated Qatar. And Qatar were absolutely, completely and utterly serviceable against Switzerland, I thought. And they still have the chance. They play Bosnia in that final match, who themselves have been awful so far. If they go and beat Bosnia, which again, I don't in my heart of heart believe they can do that, but they can, for sure. Ivory Coast could be a genuine problem for them, agreed. Did we all see Jan Diamande's piece in the Players' Tribune about his sister? That was absolutely heart-wrenching. Absolutely heart-wrenching. Reading that was chopping up onions, you know. Reading that was incredibly sad. Where were you for Brazil 1, Germany 7? Good question. Where was I at Brazil 1? I might have been at my father's house. Or chance here. Ooh, it was a shooting opportunity, a good block. It was a good block. Yeah, I think I was at my father's house, if I remember rightly. That's kind of odd that I don't remember that fully, to be honest. Fair enough, that Switzerland game was a fluke result. I don't know. Switzerland sort of showed that same level against Bosnia. Maybe Switzerland are just really bad as well. Qatar had nothing all game realistically. Swiss should have won 3 to 4 goals. Maybe. I was never expecting Qatar to come here though and play free flowing football. I think they know what they are at this present time. Tim Howard, goalkeeper of 2014 World Cup. I remember, I think it was Brooks scoring a goal for the US, maybe against Algeria or Belgium. There was a game, I think the US were 2-0 down and won 3-2. And I remember him celebrating with his hands on his head. He just couldn't believe he'd scored at a World Cup. Could not believe it. Chance here for the USA. Balogun has burst into the box. It's in. It's 1-0. I'm not sure who got the final touch, to be honest. It could have been an own goal. I think it might have been an own goal by Burgess. Wow, wow, wow. Balogun there was electrifying. He's going down the left-hand side. He comes inside so easily because he's just too quick. He's just too quick. So quick. And that is 1-0 to the United States. Just like that. It's the first real moment for the USA, barring that Dest shot. But yeah, Burgess own goal. I'm pretty sure I'm about to rewatch it now. Yeah, Burgess just can't sort his feet out. Balogun gets to the byline and cuts it back across. It passes the keeper. Burgess is running back towards his own goal and he just can't stop himself from knocking it into his own net, to be honest. And the US are 1-0 to the good in this one. Last time Germany looked like Germany, they've lost their way since that win. Yeah, 2014. Still feel they're not back to the needed level. Me neither. Me neither. But there's a little bit of, I think, a spark of some hope coming together now for the US. Sorry, for Germany. That perhaps wasn't there before with some of the youthful players coming in. Cool, that was a half a chance there for Australia. It's Lecky with the shot. It was Torre playing the ball inside, and then it just sort of drops to Lecky, who hits it with the outside of his foot. Oh, he just couldn't quite keep it down and get it on target. That could have been an immediate reply, though, for Australia. We will see now what the Australians can bring. You feel they may have to pull themselves out of their sitting back. They've been quite deep so far. USA opened the scoring against Paraguay with an own goal as well, which is interesting. Corner again for the USA. Well, I say again, it's actually their first one. The last one wasn't given. I can see Bosnia putting 10 past Qatar, genuinely. Qatar are that awful. Possibly. There was shots. The more concerning sign yesterday, I think, wasn't even the result. It was the carry on after the fact by the Qatari players and by the coach. It seemed like there'd been most of the anger was sort of directed to one another, really, and that I think is more concerning. Australia struggling to keep up the pace of the US attack. Yep. Because the US are doping, obviously. Corner coming in then. It's not bad. Oh, it could have been in. Whistle's gone for handball. That was a real chance, though. Weston McKennie is completely free on the 6-yard box, edge of the 6-yard box, and his header is so poor. So poor. He should have scored. He should have scored. USA should have been 2-0 up. But at least we've had a quicker start than we did last night. We had to wait a long time last night. Where was this US prior to the tournament? They were awful before. I think, to be fair, I think Pochettino was doing a lot of experimentation. Let's not, you know, let's make sure we have it right. He's a fantastic coach that the US have in charge. Absolutely fantastic coach. So yeah, I think it was mostly experimentation, and yeah, they've looked entirely ready. It was obviously a surprising call when Tanner Tessman wasn't called up, but it's not really looked a hindrance so far. They have so much energy in the middle, pace on the sides, through Dest, through Pepe. Balogun himself is rapid. And it's a yellow card for Jordan Boss. The arms come out to the face of Weston McKennie. Just rewatching it now. Yeah, he just sort of pushes him in his face. And the US with a chance to get across him. I thought Jordan Boss was really good against Turkey as well. Poch is slowly morphed into Russell Crowe. Well, you know, maybe he's trying to get a move into Hollywood. Who's to say? God, already I need half time just for the heat in this room. Silly foul, leave the face alone. Yeah, quite. It was a silly foul. Ball comes in then. It's not great. It's flicked on, I think, by McKennie, but straight over the bar. No issue with that. No issue with that. Oh, RFK is there today. Robert Kennedy Jr. Oh, Australia giving the ball away. USA get a chance to get a cross in. It beats everyone though. I think I'm a minute ahead of you, probably so. There'll obviously be a little bit of delay through the stream anyway. Just a sort of natural delay off streaming. And equally again, iPlayer is always a little bit behind. Let's not mention that, man. Yeah, maybe let's not. Australian players trying to get Weston McKennie booked there by taking a quick free kick and immediately blasting it straight at him. Ref didn't fall for it though. What can Australia bring? What can they bring? Remember, US only lost 1-0 to Brazil in 1994 round of 16. Very true. Very true. Is this the best US team we've ever seen? I think there's an argument for it. I'd probably say the 2002 team was maybe a touch better. You've not got a mini fan or anything to help with the heat. It's just too loud. It's just too loud on stream. I was sort of playing around with it earlier. And because of other noise I have around, any sort of noise cancellation is tricky in this room, which is not obviously normally a problem for me personally, but for streaming it is. 2002 probably, yeah, but I think so. 0910 was good too, yeah. They obviously had their GOAT then, Landon Donovan. Chance for USA. Dest is in the box. Ooh, just got the ball robbed. And Australia will get that clear. Didn't they get robbed by Germany in 2002 quarterfinal? I can't remember. Again, this all blends into one in terms of my brain a lot of the time. I think you're right. It was a great tournament for them. And a clear sign of the impact that 1994 had of hosting that tournament 8 years later to then deliver, you know, make your way to the tournament, be super competitive. Obviously, I made a video on the 2002 World Cup where I spoke about Senegal, Turkey and South Korea, and there was a lot of frustration in that I never spoke about the US, but you know, I'm sort of I'm saving a video on the US, I think, longer term, because they're a very interesting nation, the United States. What a ball! Balogun touch, wasn't quite able to trap it. Patrick Beach comes out to claim. In terms of where the players are on quality, then this is by far the best team in terms of actually playing together. They've had better. That's probably a good way of looking at it. Ooh, on the half turn, shot blocked for the USA again. Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. Although, to be fair, in the mid-2000s, they had a lot of Premier League-based players. Balak Campbell, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, I've not watched any moments from that tournament for a while, but I think you're right. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're all more knowledgeable than I am. Would you ever do a similar video for 2002 that you did for 2006? Yes, I would. But when I did that video, I did not understand what I was undertaking doing that video. Having to rewatch, you know, all matches, how long that took, then picking out moments to obviously cover in the video, the recording of that, like, it took a lot to do, and it meant I didn't post a video for ages leading up to it. So I'd love to do it again. Yes, eventually, but probably not for the moment. And I think if I am to do that type of video anytime soon, it would probably be for a Euros before then. Like, potentially something like Euro 2000 could be good for something like that. Or Euro 2012. I mean, any of the Euros really, but those are the ones that I've not covered so much. I've obviously done a fair bit around Euro 2004, and I have a few more ideas for Euro 2004 because it's a tournament that I'm obviously incredibly nostalgic for. And Euro 2008 I've done very recently. But that's generally how my mind works for a lot of this stuff. Ooh, chance, Australia corner. It will go out for another corner. Little header back over. But yeah, I do genuinely only do videos I'm interested in doing at the time. Which is not the best, it's not the best way of growing a YouTube channel, but it's the way that makes sense for me. Because I don't want to burn myself out by doing content I don't want to make. As I've said before, if I was to focus business-wise, then I would absolutely smash the life out of doing England manager videos and things like that, because those videos always do so well. But if I'm not passionate, I just find it so hard to do it. So hard. If I'm not interested in the moment, I just find it so hard to do. Yeah, sure, your fiance was happy you hogging the TV for those months. To be fair, I wasn't watching on TV much. I was mainly watching here in the office. Usually while doing something else, I just sort of have it on in the background. And then just sort of had a notepad for taking notes and stuff. But it's good. It is massively helped by how good, I don't know if anyone else in chat ever uses it, but FIFA Plus, their streaming service, completely free. You can watch anything. It's so good. So good. Euro 2000 final was a thing of beauty. Yeah, Trezeguet, right? Euro 2000 is sort of the most recent tournament that I can remember nothing from completely, because I would have been 2 years old. 2002 World Cup, I could remember that I could remember England getting knocked out, because I remember my brother crying. But yeah, Euro 2000 is sort of the newest stuff. I can't remember. Yeah, big booze for the hydration break again. Although, to be fair, it does look warranted today in Seattle. Hydration break needed in here, to be fair. So let's take a moment to do that. Indeed. Big up the booze. FIFA's stealth advert break strikes again. Ironic how FIFA's streaming service is free, they're missing a trick. So true. You would assume with FIFA they would throw all that content that they have behind the paywall, even if it meant they had like next to no subscribers, just because they wouldn't want to give it away for free. And what's mad about FIFA Plus, absolutely mad, is they have games live from everywhere. You want to watch the Eswatini Premier League, you can watch it live. You want to watch the Slovenian Women's League, it's on there. It's crazy. There is games on all the time for free. And I sometimes like just stick them on out of curiosity. And I just think, who is watching this? Who is this even for? Like, there must be times when I've watched some games on there, just had them on for a few minutes, and I think, I must be the only person in the world who's watching this. Because half the time, there's no one even watching in the stadium. It's just being played on grass pitches. It is kind of blow. I could do a video about FIFA Plus, honestly, with just how much it fascinates me. Personally, the Confederations Cup is my favourite. Yeah, I love that. That video I was so passionate about as well. It's the first video I discovered. More obscure stuff is interesting. Yeah, it really interests me as well. Yeah, I love doing that video. Because I do genuinely have a lot of love for that tournament. Yeah. We'll do something like that again soon, I'm sure. There's definitely videos in and around that to have a look at. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. It's crazy, FIFA Plus. I wonder if they've actually got games on now. I'm going to get it up on my other screen quickly. I bet there's like random matches on there right now being played. What are we doing? I can't get logged in for some reason. What are we doing? Okay, maybe not, because FIFA Plus is... Can I get on here? Yeah, it's what I mean. It's crazy. At midnight, if you want, you can watch Southeast FC versus Point Miquel FC in the Dominican Republic Premier League. Who is that for? Scotland will be playing Morocco. What about Wellington's Phoenix reserves playing in the New Zealand National League? You can watch the Dominican Republic Under-19s Championship as well if you want to watch that. That's live at 9 p.m. If you fancy switching off from this. We've got a match from Sierra Leone tonight, from Niger, from Macau. Mind-blowing, honestly. Sorry, I know I've got carried away with that there. The official FIFA films are great. Yeah, the kid in 1954 getting List of Strangers gets to the final. Yeah, those films are brilliant. I really like the 2010 one as well. That one was really good. Does it have the award-winning United Passions? I don't get the reference there. Yeah, FIFA Plus, crazy. Crazy platform. Corner for the US is headed away. Let me pull back over just to there so I can actually keep looking. Well, I don't think it's been as energetic from the United States as perhaps we could have expected, but they've managed to get the goal really from their only real bit of quality that they've shown, and that was Balogun's run to get to the byline and cause the issue that obviously led to Burgess putting it into his own net. But it's been good. Free kick for the US. It's another yellow card for Australia. I think it's Sakate who's picked it up. United Passions is a film FIFA made about itself. A propaganda film FIFA released around the time of the corruption scandal was a fantastic 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is it actually worth watching? Like, I'm okay if it's... I will watch it even if it's bad. If it's boring, I don't want to watch. But if it's like so bad it's funny type thing, then I'm down to watch it. 1970, a kid got picked up by a couple on a sports car and took it to the vinyl. Yeah, you're not going to get that again, are you? If you're drunk, okay. Okay. Received multiple Worst Film of the Year awards. Fair enough. I've actually never heard of that. It's hilariously ironic in a tone-deaf way. Is it a documentary or is it like a, you know, a narrative, is it? It's all United Passions and honestly had good production value. Interesting insight to the tournament, so say check it out, but obviously a chockload of salt to the actual facts. Yeah, fair enough. It portrays Sepp Blatter as an anti-corruption reformer. Wow. Does it also portray Adolf Hitler as a Jewish rights activist? Tim Roth plays Blatter. Okay. Okay. You might be convincing me. Australia really struggling to do anything in this match, haven't they? The US have absolutely dominated possession. I suspect we're going to see Metcalf and Irankunda pretty soon after the break, if not at half time. Someone needs to clip that. Meant in jest, obviously. 12% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, 0% critic score. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's one to consider then. We'll do a stream watch along for that, maybe. There goes your monetization. I didn't say anything bad. I am completely tolerant to all races and all religions, I promise you that. I did have an allegation of racism levelled at me after the France 2010 video, because I put Abu Dhabi and Cisse in the thumbnail, which someone said was racist, which I found quite strange. Given I'm a channel that's done a video on Mauritania. I've made multiple videos on African football. It's one of the few playlists that I have is on African football. I think it's hard to sort of love World Cups and not be tolerant, really, because this is what it's all about. Cultures mixing, the people's mixing. It's brilliant. Budget $32 million, made $168,000. Did they list it for? Did it have theatrical release? Was it meant to be in cinemas? US ball in towards Balogun, headed away. There is 7 to 8 men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, between 7 to 9 men for Australia in their own box when the US are down the wings. Make it make sense. I'm struggling to see really what the Australian plan is at the minute. Kashtagutcha, yeah, fair. Proper film and everything. Wow. There's been a clash of heads here, so there's going to be some treatment for the players. That's probably going to add on a bit more time before the half-time whistle is sounded. That's crazy, though. Made hundreds of dollars on the first day. I can't believe I've never heard about this. I guess that sort of era is kind of way past relevance now, isn't it? Sepp Blatter feels a long time ago. And I think a lot of that thinking is because of, you know, how also absolutely mental Infantino is. Infantino will just say anything. Will just say anything. He's a politician, is what Infantino is. The only ever time I've seen people answer questions the way he does is when politicians do it. Crazy. Infantino's a personification of be careful what you wish for. Well, it was essentially just a continuity candidate, wasn't it? I think Blatter and Infantino were born like 7 miles apart from one another. Like, they essentially just got a younger, balder man. They thought maybe the issue with Blatter is he's just got too much hair. We need a human egg in charge of football's governing body. It does make me a bit sad that sort of Arsene Wenger works there, you know. That he would engage with that. A vlog on the FIFA museum in Zurich needs to happen. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Although it'd be bloody expensive to do. But I would love to go, of course. For as much as I can sit here now and moan about FIFA, you know, FIFA have given me this lovely community that I've got here. World Cups have given me some of my favourite moments in my entire life. Literally only opened as a money laundering scheme. Well, there is that. But there is genuinely some cool, you know, items on display there that I'd be unlikely to see elsewhere. I'd take a chimp as FIFA president at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Qatar trying to bribe him with bananas. So many celebrity shots by the cameras. Yeah, I don't know who that just was. They just showed someone celebrating that goal. I didn't know it was. At first I thought it was Ollie Watkins, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Ooh. Australia just so penned in here. Every single man behind the ball. It's making it a very frustrating game for the US, who clearly wants to entertain. Eventually USA have got a free kick, edge of the area, right on the byline though. It's going to be a whipped in cross, you'd imagine, or maybe a little floater. As we near towards half time now, we're going to get a sizable amount of stoppage time. Probably about 5-6 minutes. Robertson goes to the edge of the area. Shot away, blocked. And it's in 2-0. Whether or not that's onside or not remains to be seen. Flag is up. It did certainly look, by how quickly the USA were able to get to the ball, that it was going to be disallowed. It would have been Freeman with it. Just getting the replay now. It's across to the edge of the box. The shot came in, was blocked. Yeah, he's well offside. Assuming it's... Or maybe not. He might have been onside. There was 2 USA players definitely offside, but they wasn't the ones that headed that ball in. They're still thinking about it here. This might be given, you know. I think they're going to give this. So poised here. He looks onside. He's going to be. This is going to be given. There was 2 USA players offside. But that's going to be given. I'm going to change the scoreline ahead of time. Oops. Yep, give him. Not surprised, to be honest. Two 0. It's 2-0 USA. Australia are going to have to turn this up in the second half. They have brought nothing to this match. Nothing at all. Been really disappointed with them. Weren't the offside players involved with play? Not really, I don't think so. Only one man ever went to go and try and head that ball, and he was onside, and he scored. Right, let me just catch up. Is it just me who thinks that the Euros only really became a mainstream tournament that people cared about in the 90s? Yeah, 100%, that's the case. It was a keep busy tournament, really, for European sides outside of, you know, the World Cup. I think, really, it was 1996 when it came forward a bit. You know, once the changing of the logo happens, then it became a proper tournament. Distance between most of the host cities and the Astral Stadium. Just seeing what that's in reference to. The mention of Irankunda and Metcalf looks even dumber now. It does, Isaac. It really does, because they have offered nothing, Australia, in this match. Nothing. Absolutely naffle. So why on earth they were benched, I don't know. They're 2 most technical players that can make things happen. They would have... And the US hasn't even really created anything. But they've just had the ball the whole time, the US. Just probing away. This has been so disappointing from an Australian point of view. Especially after that first game. So poor from them. I think the Aussies are just striking this game off and focusing on crushing your Paraguay hopes. Well, they won't. Paraguay are going to beat Australia. You heard it here first. You know. Corner again for the USA. They can't surely go in 3-0 down. It comes in. It's headed away. It's given us a free kick anyway. I'm amazed at how poor Australia have been in this one. Or just how they've set up. We're getting the 3D view now of the offsides. Yeah, he's quite comfortably onside himself. Again, I think it's just that question that someone else raised in the chat, Anonymous raised in the chat, as to whether anyone else is involved. But I think because they didn't attempt to challenge for the ball. No, they weren't. Ooh. This is what we expected of them against Turkey. Yeah, I think so. I think so. This is a far cry team that we saw against Turkey. I can't believe he'd make changes. I can't believe he's made the changes he's made. Very strange decision making by Popovic. The match momentum charts just come up on screen and it's just complete US domination. Even though, again, there's not really been the chances. Australia so passive, no press at all. And so far it has been a tournament for the pressers. Now longer term, whether they can withstand doing that, it's obviously a long tournament, a lot of matches, short space of time, remains to be seen. You know, the teams with depth are probably going to have a good tournament. The non-pressing teams have been a real issue. Big issue. But it's looking fantastic, isn't it, for all three host nations? Mexico on 6 points, Canada on 4 points. Looks like the USA is going to be on 6 points. They've certainly shown up. And I'd say of the three nations, Mexico have looked the worst. Which is probably a surprise. Canada have been very good. Very good as we head into our last minute before the half-time whistle. 2-0 to the United States. I really thought we were going to get a really exciting end-to-end game here, but we have not been so lucky. We have not been so lucky. Ooh, there's a chance for the USA to break away. It's not quite happened. Still coming forward down this right flank. Tillman with the running. Des with a shot. It's a good save. It's a good save by Patrick Beach. It's a good move, a good way to end the half. USA, fantastic. Going into the break. Done everything they've needed to do. It's not been the fast-flowing, energetic football, you know, that perhaps we might have got to see, but that's because Australia have been ultra defensive. But equally, they've done what they've had to do, haven't they? As we head into the break, it's half time. Wow. I think no one can blame me when I'm about to say I need to go and cool myself down for just a couple of minutes and then I'll be back. Is that all good? See you in a few minutes. Appreciate you all. Thank you. All right. One moment. My word. We're back. It's so warm. It is so warm. I have no idea what the internal temperature is in this room right now, but it's noticeably hotter than everywhere else in the house. So warm. So we're at half time. It is 2-0 to the United States. What on earth can Australia do to improve this? What do they need to do? I think for me they need to bring on Irankunda. They need to bring on Metcalf immediately. FYI. I'd get those two on straight away. Straight away, get those two on. Get those bad boys involved. Because otherwise there is just no way back, is there? Just no way back. Currently planning the 21-20 Euros. I mean, that's something. Thank God someone's planning for it. Otherwise we'll run out of time. But this Australia performance has been so disappointing. So disappointing. Apologies, that was probably quite loud gulping. My words. My bloody word. My giddy old aunt. The US just need to keep doing what they're doing. Pochettino must be thrilled with what he's had come to pass, you know? He must be thrilled with this Australia lineup. The midfield has been bypassed so easily. Dest and Robinson on the wings have caused so many issues. But Australia just defended in a 5 at all times. You do not want to see that. It's basically a 5-4-1. But without the flair, the X factor, you know, of Irankunda. And you feared a little bit for the US. The loss of Pulisic, especially, could have been a major issue. Gary O'Neill's about to take over as Ipswich manager. I don't think that's a bad decision at all, really. US with 71% possession. Wow. Wow. What can you even say, chat? There's got to be a shift in mentality at half time. But we'll see. At least it's better than the game we all got to watch together yesterday. Do we think Hull are going to beat Derby's record next season? To be fair, probably a fair chance if we're presuming they're going to get a points deduction. Good chance of that. I think what's incredibly funny about Hull going up is in the XG table they finished something ridiculous like 17th. North Korea got 100% possession in one of their games recently, did they? Of course. Of course. I'm hearing Kim Jong-un was man of the match. Scored a Rabona bicycle kick. What are we thinking of Scotland-Morocco lately? Does anyone think Scotland can do it? Can Scotland beat Morocco? Will they beat Morocco? I'm saying, no, they definitely will not. Not a chance. But we'll see. We'll see. Massive night for the Scots. I reckon they'll be playing for a draw. Kim Jong-un got the world record goal score apparently. Yeah, completely believe it, especially after he got that perfect game in bowling. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. (21-20) hosts will be Sweden and Finland, so I look forward to that. They're probably one of the, well, a couple of the few countries that won't be underwater by then. I do think Gary O'Neill's actually quite a good appointment, the more I'm thinking about it. Scotland's game against tonight's in Boston, isn't it? Is it in Boston? Pretty sure it's in Boston. Because their last game was in Boston as well. Tell you what, but some of those kilts have smelt better. I bet. How many, Irish breakfasts do you reckon have been consumed in Boston in the last fortnight? Probably a few. I think Scotland will get a 0-0 draw against Brazil. I can't see it. Brazil have firepower, man. Vinny, Rafinha. Scotland aren't keeping them quiet. Unless Igor Thiago, you know, really channels his inner Fred. No chance. Hope Scots gets smashed. Is that tonight against Morocco, or is that against Brazil, or is that both? What frustrates me most, I think, about Scotland is just the way they set up. Infuriates me, that. Players are heading back onto the pitch for the second half. Australia have got to bring something different. Not to be a broken record, but they've got to go for this. Now, the question, if they do go for this, is will the US put them to the sword? I think they probably will. I think they already have. They've not conceded loads of chances. I had a quick glance at the XG at half time and it was about 1.1 for the US. There is going to be Australia changes. Who are we changing? Looks like Metcalf is coming on. Massively needed that. No Irankunda that I can see. Who are we seeing? Rock you. So it looks like Valapule's time on the pitch is done for Metcalf. It's actually a triple sub. Torre's off. Burgess is off. Right, is Irankunda on? Excellent. There we go. A triple change at half time. 100% needed. Let's start to believe that we're going to see a proper half here as the game kicks back off. Oh. Sorry, it's a full start. I think we've just nailed the time though. Just waiting for the scoreboard to come back up. Scoreboard, please come up. Scoreboard, please come up. It's not helping me at all here. There is still no scoreboard. It's not helping me at all here. Whenever you're ready, BBC, if you want to show me the scoreboard, that would be great. It'd really help me out. I'm going to trust that I've got it right. Oh, I have pretty much nailed it. Happy days. What's with the booting it long from kickoff? Yeah, it's the PSG thing, isn't it? That everyone's doing to try and gain territory and press the team. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm not a fan, really. Yeah, I don't know why the scoreboard just did not want to show up there for a minute. Maybe the BBC were waiting for my scoreboard. Maybe. Maybe. What has this second half got to offer us? Australia must get back into this match. I think we're looking at Iran Kunda at 9 as well. Because he came on for Torre, which is interesting. He's not exactly an out-and-out 9. Maybe Lecky can go up top instead. That's potentially an option. But so far it does look Iran Kunda is leading the line, which is an interesting change in personnel from Tony Popovich, Australian coach. You expect Australia to push higher as well in this half. They've got to get 10 to 15 yards further up the pitch. They can't get caught sitting in again. Nothing really changing here in the second half, to be quite honest. Nothing really changing. US still dominating possession. What are we going to see this half? Not a lot of change on the press front. USA have dominated the first 4 minutes of possession. Australia still in their compact 5-4-1 system, which we hope is going to get braver the longer we go in. Were you born in 98? Yeah, I was born in 98. '97, very close. '90s, baby. USA just knocking the ball around at a very slow pace right now. And again, good for them. Good for them. The USA got their 2 goals in the first half, so they can afford to slow the tempo down. It's up to Australia to change it. What's the best BBC ITV intro for a tournament? You know what? Truthfully, and this is going to sound a bit mad to say, I've not seen the BBC one. I've not seen it. I've seen the ITV one in full. I've seen that from, the start of the show. Life is a highway. Balogun's in behind, chance here. He's in. Can he find the finish? Oh, he's just lost a bit of composure, to be honest. Sakati did get back well to cover, but Balogun did lose a little bit of composure there. So yeah, I haven't seen the BBC one. Obviously, yeah, ITV Life is a Highway. It's okay. A little bit cliche, perhaps. A bit obvious, but I like cars, Off topic, but Laura Woods annoys me. Again, I've not really been engaging much with the punditry, to be honest. Giroud on the BBC has been horrendous. Has been absolutely horrendous. Yeah, so I've not really been engaging with the punditry. I'd genuinely rather go to Reddit at half time and, you know, have a scroll through r/soccer. Truthfully. Balogun's on the move inside the box. Holds up well. Good hold up play. Waiting for a runner. And he'll take the corner. Very smart play there. I mean, for any tournament, not just this one. Okay, in that case, probably 2014 ITV Brazil. Really like that one. Good song. Brazil. Brazil. Really like that. Got a lot of nostalgia for that. I quite like the 2016 BBC Euros one as well, to be fair. The little sort of cartoony, you know, cards, I guess you'd maybe call them, or like little stickers sort of thing. They were quite good. There's probably loads I'm not thinking of because not many are coming to mind, but I'm sure there's been some great ones. But they're not coming to the forefront of my mind at the minute. More celebrities. Could be anyone. Could be anyone. Different celebrities. Get a big cheer. No idea. No idea. Brazil. Well, we're nearly 10 minutes into this half, and Australia don't look to have any life in them. Mine is 2002 one by the BBC. Yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I've genuinely seen loads of them because of doing the channel. I often use them as, you know, I use them for like introducing in the videos and stuff, as long as they don't get copyright strike, which sometimes they do. I do use a lot of them. When everyone's a celebrity, no one is. I know. I'm a celebrity, obviously. Yellow card there given. That seemed a little harsh, it must be said. Given to Anthony Robinson, was it? Or was it Pepe? Yeah, Pepe wins the ball. That seems very unfortunate. Oh, it was coming. It was back for Robinson. That makes sense. I had faithless in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, familiar. Familiar. In fact, I may even... Let me just get it up. It's hardly like the game's roaring into life. I don't think this will play out loud anyway. Wow, that's loud in my ears. Yeah, this is good. I like it. That's really of its time as well. Nice little Michael Owen goal there. Yeah, I like that. Pepe down the line. That's kind of way. Rooney's done a good job considering English isn't his first language. Yeah, fair point. I think Rooney's always been fairly insightful anyway, to be fair. He's not too bad. Although, again, I can't say I've seen much in the way of his punditry at the World Cup. Because, as I say, I've not really watched a lot of it. At some point, he's going to have to change the formation, Popovic. Because this just hasn't worked at all. Testament to the coaching of Pochettino to make this Australia side look this ordinary. Would Australia beat Qatar, do you reckon? Euro 2004 for the BBC, I enjoyed too. Problem was it looked a little cheap. Yeah, I remember that one. That one I can remember off the top of my head. Because, you know, that's probably my favourite tournament of all time. But yeah, I see what you mean. It was a little cheap and a little bit dated, to be honest. It's mostly because they use basement jacks, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with what I said. 2014 ITV Brazil, I think, is the best intro. Lecky's down. Is he gonna have to receive treatment or is he gonna get up? And the physio is on. How mental was the hydration breaks last night in Canada game? There was like a broken leg that took, you know, a fair few minutes to deal with. We came back, played 2 minutes, and then they still went to the hydration break. Absolute nonsense. We're getting another Australia change. I imagine it's going to be Lecky coming off. And it looks like Volpato's coming on. I'm going to get that done in advance. Oops. Fourth change then for Australia. Trying to do something to change this match. But it's not happening for him. Shame that Lecky's out. Feel for him. See what Volpato can bring onto the thing. ITV's 2018 one was a thing of beauty as well. Yeah. Again, I might have said this before. The 2018 World Cup came at a sort of strange point in my life, really. So as much as that was the, you know, the tournament of England, and it was great, the tournament as a whole, I don't have a lot of love for. Even though, seemingly quite objectively, people seem to think it was a really good tournament. But I don't have a whole lot of love for it, to be honest. And I don't quite know why either. Again, all I can really think is it came at an interesting time in my life. Balogun could have got away there. But perhaps I wasn't as happy as I could have been. Australia got chance there. Shot goals over the bar. Should have done a lot better. Volpato's just come on the pitch. Shot was always rising. That was a chance for Australia there. Iran Kunda, I think it was, got him behind. he held it up, waited for a runner that came from Volpato, who initially played Iran Kunda in. And his shot's so bad. So bad, actually. So bad. But at least there was a little bit of something there of Australia. A little bit of fight. USA. USA. US are in. Balogun sort of gets a layoff. Australia just about get bodies enough to crowd it around. US press has been good today. The US leaving 3 up at all times is definitely helpful for their defensive unit. Keeps those Australian players occupied. You've got to feel that getting Iran Kunda on Tim Ream would probably be the best thing they could do. You want that young... Unbelievable. How much did you get of that? It's my own fault for playing with this here. Shocking. I need a better longer term solution for this this cable, to be honest. But you would not believe the setup I've got going on around me at the moment because of some hardware issues I've had with my PC. Death Simulator. Nah, you didn't miss anything. I mean, if you did miss anything, I did say we're looking at potentially Argentina on Monday, the finale to Group B at Wednesday, 8 p.m, and the finale to Group I, and that is France, Norway, Senegal group on the Friday as the potentials. And I said I'll probably do 2 out of 3 of those, but I'm not sure which yet. Because again, obviously we've got to check out, enter the fiance first. Hydration break, boo. But also, don't mind if I do. We need Australia to show something here to make this a game. We need it. I'm sure you have many times. I don't even know what that is in reference to. What did I just say to elicit that response? Whoa. God, imagine if Haiti do Brazil tonight. USA just need to see this through from here, to be fair. That's all they need to do. Good name, right? Oh, that's a terrible joke. Shocking, that. Dear, oh dear. Radio on that. All the bandits. USA fans are having an absolute ball out here. Shocking. Shocking, that. We're back underway from the hydration break. Living on a prayer. There is very little to analyse right now, is there? Generally, I stand on the middle of them, to be honest. Sometimes, you know, might pop a little foot on the back, but generally on the middle of them. There is very little to talk here, isn't there, about this? And again, the credit has to be given to Poch because this is an unbelievably well coached United States team. A fantastic manager you feel will not be short of options should he want to return to club management. Change now is going to take place then. It's going to be Bert Halter for Pepe. And we'll get that down right there. And there we are. Bought a few Tony Hawk games yesterday. Do I skate? Never stepped on one in my life. I mean, I haven't stepped on a lot of them, to be honest, but you know. I've also not played many skate games or Tony Hawk games. I don't know if they're the same thing or not. Has there been a more disappointing side than this, do we reckon, so far? In any match? Than this Australia side in this match? Who have offered nothing all match. My only hope, just as the USA lose the ball there, is that, you know, it took until this time yesterday for the match to kick into life, so maybe we're on for a grandstand finish. But right now, Australia do not look like they've got anything in them. Even now, they're not really committing bodies forwards. The US just totally outnumbering them at the back. They've got one man in the box here. They're down the right-hand side. Cross comes in towards him. US deals with it. Away we go. Nice high press win. Still only one man in the box though. And it's Iran Kunda, who is not the tallest player by any means. Switzerland in the first 1.5 games, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Somehow I'm more angry with this Australia side, to be honest. Maybe I'm just more fatigued with it this time than yesterday. What I liked about England was Australia getting the ball in. Gets cleared away. What I liked about England was they kept going more goals instead of sitting back. And the guys off the bench were also hungry to score. Exactly. England were great for that reason. It must have been a great match as a neutral. Ref did see a handball in the box there from a US player, but he's called it as, you know, nothing he could do, rightly so. Panama, yeah. Depends what you expected from Panama, I guess. Australia are going to make their last sub. Jackson Irvine is coming on. Former Burton Albion midfielder coming on. Does that carry over the screen? Let's bring that back onto the page. Volpato's been stand. Goal average at 3.18 per match now, very high, yeah. It's just a shame I'm not picking the best matches for this, really, isn't it? But the tournament on the whole's been brilliant, yeah. Most games have been genuinely exciting and generally have good stakes, you know. US now, you know, looking to firm up their defence as we head into this last 12 minutes of regulation time before some injury time. Source immediate back them to have a deep run, zero ball knowledge. Is that Australia or is that Panama? Are you talking about yourself? Either way, neither of us have, you know, covered ourselves in glory so far. But we'll see. We shall see. Corner for Australia. Can they get a goal? $67,000 in the crowd. Oh my word, a horrendous shot from, I think, Jordan Boss. There we go. 1954 was 5.38 per match. Yeah, that's because the disparity, wasn't it? The quality between some of the top forwards and others. It's a lot worse. Who was the losing finalist in 1954? Any guesses? Yeah, fair enough. Panama makes sense. Oh. So I've had a couple of changes on the sides for the USA. Dest and Robinson are off. Hungary is spot on. Well, Hungary is spot on. Hungary less so. And Austin Trusty has come on for Robinson. That's a defensive wing back change. They are inviting the pressure on him a little bit now. Who lost the 1962 World Cup final? Lowest is 2.21 per match, but you can guess which one that was. Would it have been 2010? I'm going to guess. Irvine balled into the box. It was a good ball, but no one attacking it. Australia just really lack forwards, don't they? They're going to have to take some risks here, Australia. They're going to have to offer something in this final. No, 90, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Italia 90. Which is funny because that's the one that obviously loads of people have nostalgia for. But wrongly. The 1986 World Cup was far superior to Italia 90. All chance here for Australia to get a shot away. Touch is poor, let them down. Even Kunda went down there, appealed for a penalty. Referee not moved. He was in a good place to see it. Australia had about 4 men in the box there. That was exciting to watch. US have looked to shut the door here. But Australia have a corner. Come on. Let's see something. Yeah, 06 would have been low. Which is funny because, again, World Cups are seen as being worse nowadays, but the actual product that we get. Oh my god, Australia! I can't believe they haven't just scored. He's ended up giving a free kick anyway, the ref. That's one thing I will say about the ref in this game that's been frustrating. Is any time a ball's come into the box, he's given a foul. The chance fell to Guerrier, the centre half. Not the man you'd have wanted it to fall to. Oh, it came through so many bodies. Just trying to stay awake at this point more than anything. I think I've been really unfortunate with the games pick so far. We've had very low scoring games relative to the tournament average. Really, if you discount the 20-minute flurry last night, we've had 250-ish minutes with roughly 4 goals. Which is not the most interesting. Yeah, Switzerland, Austria in 54 is a crazy game. Imagine watching that live. There's just a big feeling here that Australia have left this too late to try and get back into this. And there's just no one really to win headers. That's a terrible shot. More celebrities in the crowd I've never seen before. So cynical tonight. Yeah, it must be rough for you. Must be hard for you, that. Oh, fight. Fight, fight, fight. Let's have a punch up. Bang, bang. They're really not getting on here, are they? Did you miss anything? Not at all. This has been a slog. Australia have offered absolutely nothing. All half. All game. It has been a pathetic showing by them, really. Embarrassing from them. They have shown absolutely nothing. And you know what? They have already won a match. This is their least winnable game of the two remaining. They will feel they can beat Paraguay. So I'm sure it's not the end of the world for them, but it's been a disappointing one for the neutral. Got to give it to Poch, who has coached this match perfectly. But still, not what we want to see. Where's the RKOs? Exactly. Come on, let's have a punch up. Let's have a punch up, please. I want to see Jackson Irvine having a fight. Probably with Tim Ream. You know. That'd be a great fight. We'd love that, wouldn't we? They're all picking up bookings here, left, right and centre. Corner for the United States. Don't think we're going to see the centre halves coming up for this one though. Tillman to take. USA. This is one of the more negative effects of the third place. Yeah, I think we saw that yesterday, didn't we? Really. In terms of the quality of some of the matches. That is the fear with it being a 48-team World Cup. But we need more data yet to see if this is going to be an issue going forward. The people yearn for a 16-team tournament again, don't they? Australia, good move here. Down the right-hand side, cross is hopeless. Wow. How bad was that cross? Was that Italiano? It was, yeah. Straight out for a goal kick. Nice little promising move by Australia. Shocking. Someone is showing a Weston McKennie Panini card to the camera. I mean, this couldn't really have gone any better for the US, who have to be given credit, you know. Wow, Balogun. Great touch. Ball goes across better. Balogun's played very well today as well. He has all the attributes you'd want in a forward player. He really does. Morocco, Scotland should be better. I don't know. Don't underestimate Scotland's ability to drag the life out of matches, you know. But you would imagine Morocco are going to bring some energy. Inshallah, you know. Completed the 2010 Panini album last year. Nice. That must be a really satisfying one to do. Do stickers for that get more inexpensive over time? Or do they get more expensive? Are they rare? Bloody hell, the ref's down with cramp. Dear, oh dear. We've cursed the tournament. Chat. The tournament's been cursed here. He's not drunk enough water, which is mental because he's had a hydration break. The FIFA doctor's on the pitch. What are we witnessing here? The ref's been bought a drink. This is farcical. This is farcical. The match is going to end in a minute. Just... surely you can see it through. It can't be that bad. The older ones are expensive. Mine was okay. Bought them from very friendly eBays, and the ones I was missing. Fair. That's fair. The only thing of that ilk that I really have is the Euro 2000. No, maybe 1998 World Cup. England coin selection from Sainsbury's, which I think now has a little bit of value. Not that I'm selling it, mine's, but it's also not in great condition, really. But the bucket is the coins are in good shape. Can't remember ever seeing this before. Not like that. That was ridiculous. It's in the 90th minute. Just oh my word. Oh my god. Australia's crossing. Who's South Ireland the ref here? Roy Keane came down from the punditry overview to 2-foot him. Final subs being made here by the US. Balogun comes off to a rip-roaring applause. Very much deserved. He's played excellent, to be fair to him. Weston McKennie comes off as well. $1970 album goes for $6-7 grand. Crazy. Someone, one of my viewers, had put down, and I've seen a picture of it. They sent me a picture of this. That they found a Euro 2004 Man of the Match trophy in a charity shop, and they bought it because I was trying to buy it off them, but they were not selling. But what a pull that would be! Match of the tournament, this, yeah. Ah, complete, yeah, fair. That makes sense. US trying to kill the game off here. Hadji Wright's just come off on the pitch. He's now been ruled as offside. And that will surely and thankfully be all she wrote. The fat lady is about to sing. Ref, please. We'll be telling our grandchildren about this match. Wow, that was up there for worst game of the tournament, wasn't it? Just knock the mic out again there. Just for one more. To scare them, yeah, indeed. Tillman in. It's cleared. Yeah, this match will go down as one of the matches that took place. It's over. We did it. And we never have to watch that match again. Thank God for that. We made it. Well done, everyone. And that is full time. Thank goodness for that. If Turkey are able to beat Paraguay tonight, then the US have won Group D. That's the main takeaway. Australia obviously still alive. They just need a point to guarantee themselves into the next round. Rough. That was a tough watch. A tough watch that was. But we made it. At least we got the... Crazy, really. At least yesterday we got the mad ending, but this had nothing. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me for that. That was very kind for you to stick around for that. Jesus. We just need to thank our lucky stars. That wasn't like, you know, the 2 a.m. match. Absolutely not. Got away with that one there. Well, thank you very much for joining me once again. If you haven't already, please drop a like on the stream. I will see you again next week sometime. I'll put an announcement out in the community posting area of the channel. But for now, over and out. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night.